Well. 2023 is done, and after my vacation, I am ready to talk about all the vidya I played throughout the whole year. And let me tell you, it was a great year. There were a few stinkers, but there were also some godsends, and overall, it was a great year. That being said, I played 38 games this year, and I went through different genres, stuff I didn't play at all, or stuff that I didn't play in a while. So as the new year begins, I'm going to reflect on the games that made me question my sanity and if sleep really was for the weak. Anyways, let's revisit the games I played in 2023. Starting off with January. January was a good month, despite my personal biggest letdown of the year. But yeah, Sleeping Dogs was the first game I played last year, and honestly, it was extremely underrated. I wasn't expecting anything too special, but it was really fun with a good story, nice world, and some cool characters. The brawler mechanics were actually pretty good, which surprised me, someone coming from the Yakuza series. However, the shooting was really dumb and honestly was just too overpowered, like spamming the vaulting over cover, slow down time ability thing, whatever, with no cooldown. That just made gunfights a joke. But again, the brawler gameplay was a big standout. Besides that, I think the game lacked a bit of oomph when it comes to the cop or triad choices. They could have made like 2 endings to the game just to seal the deal narratively, but great overall. And then came God of War 1. I'm gonna be honest, probably my least favorite game of 2023. Like, it was really bad gameplay wise. DMC3 came out the same year and it sweeps it in every category. Besides OST. OST was the biggest saving grace of God of War 1. I got to the conveyor belt room right before the Pandora's box and all my tilt just converged into me quitting the game and saying it's bad. So God of War 1 was bad, but at least 2 and 3 stepped it up heavily, but we'll get to that. Afterwards, I played Fire Emblem Three Hopes. Fire Emblem Three Houses was one of my favorite games I played in 2022, so I wanted to see more of the cast, and then eventually more of the franchise. So in hack and slash form, it was extremely fun, albeit repetitive and the power fantasy type game that these sorts of games are. Story was a cool alternate universe, and combat was fun, but that's all. And then we get to God of War 2 to close off January. God of War 2 was what I expected God of War 1 to be, but not only that, it is actually even greater, thankfully in every way. Great bosses, a bit better enemy-wise, OST still slaps, more gear for Kratos, and an amazing finale. Now it is February time. February was insane, starting off with God of War 3, an incredible hack and slash that improves God of War 1 and 2 in every way, definitely the highlight of the old God of War games. And then we got Neon White. As someone that is indifferent to speedrunning, this game made me switch themes like it's CSGO. Wait, it's CS2 now. So people say that the game is carried by the godly gameplay, so that the cringe dialogue ruins it. And to each their own, because I really love the dialogue, and I think it has one of my recent favorite dialogues in any game, just because of, well, Zoomer culture, I guess. I mean, you either love it or hate it. Gameplay peak, OST incredible, and art style is memorable. An amazing game. Like a Dragon Ishin, an incredible RGG game that is also probably the most forgettable RGG game to date. Again, it's just a remaster of Japan only Ishin, but I don't know, man, the grinding ruins it a significant amount. Game is still amazing, it's just really forgettable by RGG standards. I guess because it's not a new game. Ending off February with my personal favorite new release of 2023 and my game of the year, Hi-Fi Rush. Stylish hack and slash, yeah. Comedy, yeah. Art style, yeah. OST, yeah, times 2. Shadow dropped out of nowhere, yeah, that too. Hi-Fi is an unforgettable ride for me just because I didn't even know it existed, and boom, I fell in love with the first 10 minutes. And then by the end of the game, even more than love. Characters are amazing, combat is extremely fun. The rhythm-based hack and slash is a great idea that was actually executed perfectly, in my opinion. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, as a hack and slash enjoyer, this swept God of War 3 alone, but not as good as DMC5. March was a bit of a drought for me. Played 2 games, one had potential but fell off, and the other was great but not memorable. First being LA Noire, started off promising, then just fell off for me. And sadly, the mysteries started getting dumber through the game, only a few S tier cases. I don't know, it felt lackluster. Second, Hogwarts Legacy. It was great, just plain old fun and exploration with decent fun combat. World exploration was honestly the standout. Didn't flop at least, so I'm glad, but keep in mind I ain't a Harry Potter fan, so game was great regardless. And now April. Plague Tale Requiem was how I started April, and let me tell you, that was an amazing game. Probably the most emotional game I played this year, and yes, it might actually beat out these two. The set pieces are much greater than the first game, the combat is polished, the stealth is polished, the VA is improved, the story got even more sad, and I don't know, man, the game was really close to a masterpiece, but gameplay wise, there were more interesting picks this year, sadly. Neo 1. I love Neo 2, and before a certain game, I thought it was the best non-FromSoft Souls-like, but Neo 1 is just so rough compared to Neo 2. It's just, why play Neo 1 when 2 exists? The same flaws, though magnified, and the same positives. It's a no-brainer to just play 2 instead. And yeah, I quit by the end. Like, I just couldn't bother.
They're better.
Why?
They just are.
Yeah, but why?
Many reasons.
Bioshock 1. Oh boy, what a banger. Definitely my favorite. Actually, getting ahead of myself. Bioshock 1's atmosphere is unmatched so far. Only game that can compare is Prey 2017, and barely, but nah, Bioshock 1 wins just due to Rapture being the best game setting of all time. I am dying on this hill. The atmosphere is incredible, the combat is fun, the abilities are versatile, the areas are memorable, and it's very immersive, Simi. The plot twist at the end is also probably the best twist in any game. Like, as far as I can remember, honestly. The game is close to a masterpiece. It's that good. Fire Emblem Awakening, my second main Fire Emblem game. Not amazing due to the incredible changes that Three Houses made to make the game vastly more fun, but it is great and it did time travel in a surprising way. A good way, I might add. The characters were really good, though not on par with Three Houses. Gameplay was good, OST was nice, story was good, all around an enjoyable experience. Bioshock 2. Okay, it doesn't stand a chance compared to the first one, but I genuinely thought 2 was really good, especially with the DLC, narratively wise. Gameplay is just one, but noticeably better, and quality of life changes just improve the experience. I don't know what to tell you, it just didn't hold a candle to 1, but it is really underrated in my opinion. And just way overshadowed by 1. May. Oh, May, what a month. Bioshock Infinite. Polarizing game. I understand why, but personally it slapped. Gameplay is, funny enough, I think worse than 2's, but by like 5%. It's extremely enjoyable. Rapture beats out Columbia easily. So, story is good as well. DLC is, for me, great, though a tad bit forced connections-wise. But yeah, this game is you either love it or hate it. Closing off May, we have Stranger of Paradise. Final Fantasy Origin even. Yeah, Jack alone makes this game an unironic 9 out of 10.
I don't give a fuck who you are.
Amazing no fucks giving pro tag and edgy but in a good way. Souls-like as well, which is a surprise to me initially, but I think it was well executed. Also, keep in mind it's basically Neo plus Final Fantasy and works, I think. My second Final Fantasy game, so yeah. And it is time for June, a big month. And we start with Borderlands 2, first BL game. Skipped 1 after like 2 hours of not enjoying anything, so yeah. The gameplay is serviceable but too looty for me. So the game's like a 7, but then the dialogue and comedy, and then to top it off, Handsome Jack just lifts it high above into an incredible game. Handsome Jack is easily my favorite villain, like personality wise.
I will pay you to kill yourself. I've got a perfect spot all picked out for you. And you don't want to? That's fine. Call the Hyperion Suicide Prevention Hotline and you'll get nothing.
Just he's so fucking lovable, but at the same time hateable. Like, actual peak. Easily. Next up, Alan Wake. So I like this game a lot, despite the gameplay being barely serviceable, just because of Remedy, my beloved, and their live action tomfoolery and their strange ideas, especially narratively wise. Alan Wake is the best 7 out of 10 game ever made, though I gave it a fucking 9 because I am just built like that. Also, Old Gods of Asgard, just, you know, like...
Al! We have to fight them off! I can set off more of the fireworks from here and help you out! Hey, Al! Did you notice there's a lot of ammo and stuff around? This place is stocked!
And now we have another stinker, Solstice. I really liked the game at the start, but holy moly, the fun got sucked out by Chapter 20, where I just couldn't bother anymore. Yeah, they copied DMC, but instead of making a unique gimmick, they used the worst part of the DMC reboot, which is the color-coded enemies. Also, to add on that you have shitty platforming, yeah, easily my second biggest stinker of the year. Next up, Vampire Replay. Played the game in 2019, wanted to revisit it, and it is still great. Great atmosphere, good characters, fun combat, fitting OST, replayability, good story, and it's still good, though flawed. Finally, to close off June, Borderlands the pre-sequel, second and likely the final Borderlands game I will do, because it has the same issues as 2, same positives as 2, and the gameplay just ain't my thing. It's fun, but it ain't my thing, so I'm probably just gonna stop there. Though amplified positives, actually, because I played as Jack, and, you know...
Robo-Jack, say, I'm going to jack you up. Just like that.
No.
No. That's so cool. That's something I would totally say. I would.
I am handsome and you will die.
It's Jack. Plus the quality of life combat improvements, so yeah. As for July, another big month. Starting off, we have Bright Memory and Bright Memory Infinite, which are basically the same game, so I'm grouping them. Fun little 2-hour games of non-stop action, with a story that I don't really care about, but with impressive graphics and, again, chill, non-stop action, fun times. Afterwards, we got Call of Juarez Gunslinger, an extremely fun, short and sweet game. It caught me off guard with how good it was. It knew what it wanted to do, and it did it well. Had great combat, amazing art style, and some really well-written dialogue with a cool story to top it off. Then, Disco Elysium. Yeah, this game got me good. Really close to a masterpiece. How many times did I say that this video? Oh my god. Held back by my personal need of some action and intense scenes. The dialogue is second to none, and the voice acting is beyond impressive. Like, they pulled it off so good. As someone who didn't really like the genre, Disco Elysium was an amazing exception. Soul Hackers 2. Mid, yes, but Ringo makes it not forgettable. Plus it did have some great moments, especially story-wise. Again though, the gameplay itself is kinda mid and the dungeons are bad. Like really bad. Really repetitive. And the OST slaps though, as usual. Stray Lights. Cool art style, but okay gameplay. I don't know, it wasn't that memorable besides the art style. I completely forgot about it like after a week. It was nice though, I guess. And now the third stinker, Trek to Yomi. Visuals, incredible visuals, carry it. The gameplay is absolute ass and it's just a big fat shame with how cool the game could have been. Now topping off July, Hitman Blood Money. Great, overrated but great. Had some good moments, and even though it lacked the new trilogy's options, there were some good stuff in there. As for August, a short one, replayed Greedfall just like Vampire because played them both back to back in 2019, and compared to Vampire, Greedfall suffered rating wise. Like, it really wasn't as good as I remember. Only standout is some of the choices you can make and Constantine as a character. Besides that, just very mid. Next, Hitman Absolution, a very strange game. Unlike any other Hitman game, because to me it really felt like the combat was extremely fun and most times stealth failed, just mess him up with the go-go gadget gun and massacre everyone. Had a blast, yes, even more so than Blood Money, but it didn't really feel like a Hitman game, so it's strange. Finally, for August, Fallout New Vegas replay. I played it 8 years ago, and the game is still goated. Like, it gets praised for a reason. Like, everyone knows it. As for September, there was nothing because I was on vacation and I just took a break, so yeah. Then October arrived and I played 2 GOATs, one for the first time and the other as a sentimental replay. First being Red Dead 2, and you know how it all goes, just watch my review on it, like, goddamn. Holy moly, it's so good. Secondly, the Yakuza 0 replay, the game is still goated, I'm not gonna say much about it, it's Yakuza 0, like, yeah. Finally, November. 3 games. First being Baldur's Gate 3. Played it for like 15 hours, loved it, but then put it down because I wasn't in the mood to play that type of game. I hate myself for it, but I don't know, man, I was just not in the mood. The game of the year was deserved though, easily. Like, things I saw about the game was just beyond incredible. Just wasn't in the mood though. Then, Like a Dragon Gaiden showed up and made itself known after Ishin was forgettable. Gaiden somehow managed to, by now, reach the high echelons of RGG games for me. Bravo, Yokoyama, you did it again. And finally, the absolute final game I played in 2023, Lies of P. And you know how the video goes. Best non-FromSoft Souls-like, baby. New game plus plus plus, and more to come after the DLC drops. I'm just taking a break right now. So, yeah, amazing end to the year. As for December, again, vacation, but I also just wanted to mess around with, well, primarily the Lies of P replays. Now, with all this info, time to settle my favorites of 2023. But not now. Well, that's about it. See you next part.